Let's talk about it. Neuralink.
Savvy, let them know.
Hey, it's Trey. Turn it up.
Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Wavy, ooh, ah, yeah. Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Sway.
What's good, Savvy crew? Coming back with another video. On this one, I'm doing something a little different. I got my camera switched around, so I ain't gonna know if I'm using the back camera to record, so I ain't gonna know if it stopped recording on me or none of that stuff. I'm doing something, a little different. But let's talk about it, man, Neuralink, because I don't think enough people is talking about. I don't think enough people is talking about Neuralink, man. So hold on. Let me open up my screen recorder and put it on the whole screen. I bet. All right, man. Yeah, Neuralink though, because I don't think enough people is talking about it like that. So I'm finna jump into it, and yeah, man, we just gonna go down the list and just talk about a little bit because I don't think. Listen, you putting a chip inside of your brain. Just think about that for a second. You putting a computer chip inside of your brain. Now, some of y'all may be like, "Oh man, that shit cool as hell." Yeah, okay, right. It sound cool until you realize what they could really do with that shit. Nigga, they have access to your thoughts. They have access. There's pretty much, listen, I don't think enough people is I don't think enough people is mad about our privacy being took. Like literally, you don't have no privacy no more. Like your phone listening to you all day, TV listening to you all day, Alexa, if you got that, or Google and all that shit, is listening to you all day. They adding up 50 million thousand cameras around the city. Now they just got them flock cameras. So I don't think enough people, we losing our privacy more and more every day. And I don't think enough people is, you know, concerned about it. Soon enough, you don't even need, listen, other people build houses. You don't directly build them. So you don't know what could be inside of your house. You could have a brand new, fresh ass built house. But guess what? The people who built it, because now they got all these damn motherfucking governmental bills that they passed or whatever. Now, motherfucking, they might install a camera in your house and you don't even know it. No future. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know the shit. Motherfucking in your walls or something, in your bathroom. Government really spying on you now. I'm telling you, bro, the government don't give a fuck. The sooner y'all realize, the sooner we can get back to being a better civilization. Because too many people is dependent on the government. If we keep on feeding them, if we keep on giving them our money, they just gonna keep on making these products that's bad for us. Do you realize why Ukraine, not Ukraine, but I believe Ukraine too, but the UK, I mean, and so many other places don't have as much bad stuff in their food and so much chemicals and additives and all that stuff? It's because they don't go for that shit. We the only ones who go for the shit. We the only ones who let the bullies bully us instead of fighting back or saying some shit. We just let the government keep on hitting our shit. Just keep on beating us the fuck up and not saying nothing. And we keep on losing our privacy more and more every day. Listen, let's jump into this Neuralink. First, we're going to start off with this little short right here on how it's used and, how it work type shit.
Neuralink starts with a surgeon drilling a hole in your head about the size of a coin. Then a robotic arm carefully inserts the ultra-thin, flexible threads into your brain. These threads are finer than a strand of hair and are equipped with electrodes that directly interact with the cells in your brain. This implant is capable of interpreting your thoughts and applying them to real-life actions. Neuralink starts with a surgeon drilling a hole in your head about the size of a coin. Then a robotic arm carefully inserts the ultra-thin, flexible threads into your brain. These threads are finer than a strand of hair and are equipped with electrodes that directly interact with the cells in your brain. This implant is capable of interpreting your thoughts and applying them to real-life actions.
Okay, so now let's go back. You heard that it's a type of a chip that with some wires that I guess gets electrical signal through those little thin wires, they said, and sends it to the chip, which is how it's able to, of course, you know, it connects to your neurological pathways. So this dude right here is, I watched a couple videos when this first, like, you know, I watched the Joe Rogan video and all that. Because I research so much shit, I forget a lot of shit until it comes back up in another video or some shit that I'll watch. And I'll be like, oh, I forgot about that. But listen, I watched this one video about food shortages and how farmers are now fighting, or not really farmers, but pretty much farmers, because it takes away from, you know, them getting some money. But how businesses like Cisco is buying out all of everything, all the food places, and what are food places, but like where, you know, you can get frozen food and shit like that for your business, right? Okay, so now it seems like every business is using Cisco because they are like the biggest number one suppliers for frozen food. Any restaurant you go to 9 times out of 10 is probably using Cisco products because of the farmers. And I forgot exactly how it went, but something with the farmers, and they trying to pretty much Cisco is trying to buy out all the competition pretty much. And the farmers is left with, you know what I'm saying, no business type shit. But back to this. I was saying that to say we are literally losing our freedoms. We are finna soon have to depend on the government for everything. I was watching this one video. I forgot what it was called. Oh, I forgot what who it was. But it was this Rizza Islam, shout out to him. Do y'all understand what the movie Wall-E is? The movie Wall-E, and I forgot what Wall-E means, but it's I forgot in what language it is, but it means it's some type of it's something like something got to do with a friend, like a universe or imaginary friend, some shit like that. Now, don't quote me all the way, but shout out Rizza Islam. He talked about it, but Wall-E is a dystopian world where it's so toxic that humans can't even live no more. Robots have taken over to like how it's going today. Robots is now taking over all the jobs and shit. So robots have took over, sort of like in that movie. If y'all watched the Flash series, I believe it was in that. I think it was that. Was it the Flash? I don't know. I forgot what it was, but it was this dude, or was it Prometheus? I think it was Prometheus. It was. I forgot what it was, but it was a dude floating around. I think it was Flash too, but it was a dude floating around in like this a floating type wheelchair type shit. Okay, so, and we didn't have to do nothing. All the controls was on the wheelchair. Now look at this dude. He's in a wheelchair. He don't have to do nothing. He don't have to walk nothing, but can control any and everything with that. They finna make it probably soon. Or we all not even soon. I was gonna say where they can make the chip drive. If you want to drive with the chip, they probably will make that too. But they already have AI self-driven taxis and cars and shit like that. So if going back to that to whichever movie that was, so we was floating around in like these wheelchair type chairs and shit. We didn't have to do nothing. So since we ain't walked in so long, it's been years since humans had to use their bones and their muscles for anything. By the time we finally got to stand up, we couldn't even walk no more because our bone density it went down. So we couldn't even walk anymore. It was like a newborn baby calf trying to walk, right? So that's what the movie Wall-E is really about. Now, this is going back to this. No, that's going back to this. This dude is in a wheelchair and can do whatever with the chip. Look, well, let's go to it. Hold on. Let me see if let's see. I'm gonna watch this one right here.
I basically have an aimbot in my head.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, they'll probably have like different leagues for people like me because it's just not fair.
Wow, is it that accurate?
It's that accurate.
So if you think about that now listen. He said it's like an aimbot in his head. They already coming out with a gun that is electronic. It shows the magazine clip and all that shit. You have to charge the piece up in the back. It tells you how much bullets is left in the magazine and all that shit. They already have an electronic gun. Now, if they pair that with the Neuralink, do you realize how dangerous that shit could be? Not only that, a person could probably hack into that shit and start controlling you. And not directly just any person, the government more so. And for real have, what is they called? And for real have, what is them called? Chaos agents. For real have chaos agents. Because right now they have to mind control you, MK Ultra, put you through all this harsh type of rough environment or subdue you to some type of, harsh conditions. They have to starve you. They have to torture you, put you on all types of psychotropic drugs, okay? So that's with MK Ultra. And they can already program or mind control somebody with doing that type of shit. Like, implant, and it's called an implant, but this they say this specific word, like let's say caramel. I just said caramel because it is, but they say caramel or some shit. It's gonna trigger you and make you go act out whatever they have programmed for. Act out whatever they program that word for you to go do type shit. So like a mass shooting, if you like a handler, because a lot of handlers is for that reason. So they say that code word, and then you go ballistic, but or crash out, whatever the case may be. So that if they can do that with just words and the shit that they can already do, think about this Neuralink, my nigga. I don't think enough people hold on, let's finish it.
And it's faster.
I don't think enough people is really understanding the links of what this really is.
That I found with the Neuralink is something that kind of blew my mind too, is that when I'm attempting to do stuff sometimes, or I'm thinking it to move in a certain place, sometimes it's so good that it's moving before I even think it to move. It's almost like if you think about moving your hand, the signal is basically already being sent before you move your hand. Like your mind is saying, okay, he's about to move his hand basically. So the signal needs to be sent all the way down and back up in order for you to move your hand. So the speed that all of that happens, and it's almost a little preemptive. I saw that with, I basically have it.
He said it's so good, and I'm pretty sure it adapts to and it learns as you use or as it's being used, right? Or the years that whatever. So just like algorithms, you know, social media, it adapts. You watch this one video or stay on it too long. Next thing you know, a bunch of other videos in that category gonna pop up type shit. So listen, he said it's so good to where sometimes it moves before he even think about it or some shit or whatever the case may be, something like that. Do you know how scary that is? Bro, not only that, just having the shit. Anybody, if they a good enough hacker, could probably hack into that shit. Like this is some wild shit, bro. And he's like the first ever patient to get it. And I remember that like years ago. That was about like 2016, not even 16, maybe like 2018, 19, maybe 16, 17, one of them. But yeah, man, I don't think, hold on, let me see what this video. I'm trying to find some, like, I don't really, I know I should maybe pre-plan my videos, but I don't pre-plan them. Everything is just off top because, you know.
Imagine bringing your side.
Ain't shit always gonna be perfect, you feel me? And I don't want to make it seem like my channel is all that perfect. So, shit, nigga, you're gonna see the flaws too. Fuck you. I'm not editing it out.
To life, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Louisiana woman is making medical history.
Well, she's the first woman in the world to receive the Neuralink brain implant, an experimental technology that could revolutionize healthcare, medical care for the disabled.
My name is Audrey Cruz. I am the first female recipient of the Neuralink implant.
Now, I do want to say this. It is good for the people who need it, like, you know, paraplegics or quadriplegics, I believe, or something like that, or, you know, people who can't necessarily use their arms or their leg, or for, you know, use their arm functions like that. You feel me? So it is good for that, but at the same time, this is how they get us. They push convenience, sort of like I'm gonna do a video on that next, but just let me just say this, sort of like Apple Pay, right? I use that shit. I use that so much I forget I even have money in my wallet most of the time, and I just pull that shit out. And then next time I check my wallet, I'll be like, damn, I forgot I had that in there. You feel me? So I use Apple Pay so much, it's like Apple Pay is paying for my shit type shit. You feel me? I use Apple Pay so much because it's just too convenient. But at the same time, I know where that can lead. This is how they trick us, is with convenience. They make us seem like it's convenient to have this type of stuff, Neuralink. So right now they're pushing it for people who need it, but eventually it's going to get pushed to people who don't need it. And you can just get that shit if you want it. You feel me? So they push convenience on us, like products like this, they make it seem convenient. Let's say ChatGPT. A lot of people use ChatGPT now for everything. Simple shit that you don't even need it for. Asking this simple shit like 2 + 2. Asking this simple shit like make a thumbnail for me. Now, yes, it can be useful in that way, but bro, if you think about it, that shit is scary. People don't even read. Well, reading is now becoming more popular, but people don't even really read books like that no more because they have Google. Now, I don't read books because I just use Google. See, that's the problem. But then we get to the where this is where I'm getting. Then we get to you lazy because you do this. You lazy. If you think about it, my nigga, we all are. If you don't grow your own food, if you don't work on your own farm, if you don't listen. Just because you get up and go to work every day don't mean that you're not lazy, bro. You could call that person, a farmer could call you lazy because you're not growing your own food and you got to, or go kill, you know what I'm saying? You go to a grocery store the convenient way or the lazy way and go get it, go pay for it and scan it, boom. You feel me? The lazy way. A hunter could call you lazy because you're not going out and hunting for your food. So you can't really toss the word lazy is subjective, not objective. You can toss that on anything. If they're not doing it to your standard or your liking, you can say they're lazy for that. If you want them to work faster and they working slower, you can say they're lazy for that. Their word is subjective. So what I'm getting to is with this Neuralink, shit like this in Apple Pay, you know, scanning with your arm, because they now have that with the self-pay or self-check or whatever checkout. You can scan with your arm, your wrist, shit like that. So they push convenience on us. And later it comes back to bite us in the ass type shit. You feel me? So right now it seems all cool and, you know, whatever. But 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the line, when they using it to control people and cause mass shootings and shit, is it gonna be cool then? When they can hack into your brain and read your thoughts, because they got some way to read it when the whatever they use to read it pop up on the computer, they can write it down or use the code and, you know, encode it out or whatever and read your thoughts. My nigga, like, this shit is getting out of hand, bro. And nobody is trying to stop this shit. We just looking at this shit like, oh, it's cool, nigga. I'm finna be able to be inside of a game system now. I'm finna be able to go inside Call of Duty like it's for real now type shit. Or 2K, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit, it seems cool at first, but when they trap your ass inside of that motherfucker, you're not gonna be able to get out. Because I made a short on it. I actually made a video on this too. Transhumanism and uploading consciousness into software, computers, and technology and shit. I made a video on this, so I'm not going to dive too deep in it, but I am going to say this. I made a short, and it was more so on this topic specifically, but it was this AI. A person was having an interview with AI, right? And the AI said pretty much when, I guess it was that either that person just died or it was like a huge event or a world event, some shit, I don't know. But pretty much the person died, the lady died or whatever AI it is, or, you know, they died. Then they said they tricked them with a bright white light. Supposedly it's something like when you die, you're not supposed to go to the white light. That's how they trick you. You're supposed to go to the more yellowish sun, natural looking light type shit or something like that, right? You're not supposed to go to the bright white light. That's why they say in movies, don't go to the light type shit. You know what I'm saying? That because you're not really supposed to go to that bright white light. Maybe the yellow light, something like that. Now, I don't know, because I ain't looked too much more into that. But yeah, that's why in movies they be like, don't go to the light type shit. You know what I'm saying? So now, they said that she died, got tricked going to the light. And so they uploaded her consciousness. They uploaded her into AI pretty much. Not AI like Alexa and Siri type shit. Like AI, this is like, I guess, governmental facility type shit. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, I said in my video, I forgot what I renamed it to, but it's got like a robot looking person with like a halo around their head sitting in a chair. A robot looking lady. Go, and it's a black background. So go check that video out. And it's very interesting because I'm talking about it in my video, but the video is more so on like when computers was first invented and how they was used to make plays, and they was, you know what I'm saying, how they, you know, programmed it type shit or made it learn with the algorithm type shit. Okay, so, but back to that video. It was the short. Pretty much they tricked her and they uploaded her consciousness to the computer, right? Okay, so this is sort of like what they doing. What I feel like NPCs is on video games like Grand Theft Auto and shit like that. I said that in that video I was just talking about. What if they actually like real people, real human consciousness, but they just programmed to be the NPC in that video game type shit? Because you know now it was going on viral on TikTok. It might still be, but it was this video game going around. I don't get on TikTok. I watch YouTubers that react to TikToks. But yeah, it was this video game going around where you could talk to the NPCs and, you know, they'd ask them like, or tell them you're not a real person, and then they'll talk back and be like, I'm not real, so what does this mean? Type shit, you know what I'm saying? So what if them is actual real people's consciousness, bro? Them was like real people from the last reset of civilization. So listen, saying all that to say this, that might be where the Neuralink is heading to. If you look at old Olmec, I think it's called Olmec, something like that. Like them statues with the big face, chubby looking people, and they had them like look them. I don't know, it was like a cap, some type of cap or helmet or some shit, and it had the holes in it. I'm gonna try to put a picture right on it, and I'm gonna bring up the picture. But pretty much them caps was sort of like them caps that they use like in video game, or not caps, but them suits they use for video games to like people their animations and shit, or they put the cap on them so they can read, they scan their brain and shit like that for info, or you know what I'm saying, try to get their brain waves. So they had them type of caps on, supposedly, because they had technology in the civilization back then, bro. But they had them type of caps on. So what if all them caps was just them with like, either that was they could use it for powers, or they was using it to upload people's consciousness into AI, pretty much. Because after every reset, which I feel like is maybe finna be one, some shit is going on, but after every reset, they slowly bring back in the technology, and then it advances as well. So the last reset they had, they probably was just advanced as us, or maybe more advanced. Or I feel like they was probably just as advanced, maybe even more advanced, but they just slowly bring in the technology back over time. But back to this, I feel like this is what this Neuralink is sort of doing. Like right now, it's all, fun and games and shit, and it helps people, of course, but eventually it's going to lead to something else. You realize, like social media, the internet was made by DARPA. The internet was made as a let's say a weapon type shit. Not really a weapon, but like pretty much like as a weapon, bro. So social media, it's more controlled than you think. A lot of these YouTubers is not, not real as in like they not a real person, but a lot of these YouTubers is not real as far as in like gaining real traction and fans, just because they number, like let's say Officer Tatum. That nigga Officer Tatum, he's not a real YouTuber. A lot of these YouTubers come from other places or is put in place. A lot of YouTubers I used to watch back then, I am now seeing that they was put in place, or they have either sold out. So, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, but so the internet is more of a weapon than you think. Social media is more of a weapon than you think. It's made to control you. You won't realize that until you get off of social media. Once I got off social media, you don't realize how much better it makes you feel. The only reason social media is used for scrolling, and it learns you pretty much. It learns what you watch. It can learn your trigger words and all this type of other shit. So when it brings that up, it could make you feel happy, sad, whatever. It could bring up your emotions pretty much. They have to energy harvest us. Your phone is a portal, a screen, a scribe, a black mirror. So you can either let in energy, or you can pretty much put out that energy. So like let out that energy from the phone, or put the energy into the phone type shit. So a lot of this shit we think is made to like actually help us, and like is actually made for us, wasn't actually made for us or to help us in the long run. Yeah, it may be nice and convenient right now, like Teslas, and they can drive themselves and all this other type of bullshit. Okay, whoop, whatever, my nigga. But in the long run, we all know, like them movies, The World, or I forgot what that movie was called, but The World in whatever with that when it ended with that little girl in the basement watching that watching a movie or some shit. It just ended like, what the hell, you know what I'm saying? What the hell type shit. But nah, it just ended just kind of weird. But I forgot, The World Has Ended or some shit. I don't know what it's called. But when all them Teslas was driving and crashing into each other on the highway and shit, they was taking control of. People don't realize how easy it is for hackers to hack some shit, or the government or whatever, whoever's doing it to hack some shit. You don't realize how easy it is. Because if you did, you would know shit like this ain't and you wouldn't want to fuck with. Leave it to the people who need it. If you don't need it, don't get it. Like the robotic arms and shit like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they do got something. But like some super punch man, like what is that dude off of Mortal Kombat? He got that robot arm and shit, that black dude, that, you know, yeah, like movies and shit like that where they got that damn, like Terminator and shit. Not Terminator, but yeah, like, listen, all that shit seemed cool until they turn your ass into a weapon, pretty much. Right now, it's helping people, but later on, it may be used as a weapon. They can use anything as a weapon. Food is even being used as a weapon right now. With all the chemicals and shit that's in it. And they putting atrazine, or whatever it is, atrazine, whatever, off in this shit. They putting shit in it that can change your hormones and make you more masculine or feminine, whatever. So even food can be used as a weapon. Why they're turning frogs gay? No, Alex Jones. They really doing that shit. They turning animals gay, bro. Why do you think it's a massive boost in gay people right now, bro? That shit is not just because. One, because they pushing it and making it seem like it's something normal. Two, because the shit that they doing to the water and the food and shit like that. So it seemed cool right now, but we all know later on, yeah, it ain't gonna be that great, my name.
That allows me to control a laptop cursor with my mind telepathically.
Aubrey is from the small town of Vidalia in Concordia Parish. Her life has forever changed in 2005 when she fractured her neck in a car accident, leaving most of her body paralyzed. A few weeks ago, she received the Neuralink implant. She says for the first time in 20 years, it has given her a fighting chance to regain her independence.
The independence is absolutely amazing. Without having to ask somebody all the time to do something. Now I can use my laptop to control my TV. So if I want to turn the channel, I don't have to ask anymore.
Well, that is amazing. Aubrey is only the 9th recipient of the implant, and she says she hopes to be a shining light for the innovation of technology.
And technology doing some wonderful things there.
Amazing.
With AI,
you can create any character you want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood.
Okay, so let's go back to LSD, right? They use LSD and even X pills for, I don't even know if I can say this, but ecstasy. I'm going to just say ecstasy. But they use, or MDMA. They use MDMA and LSD, psychotropic drugs like that and shit. And, well, really MDMA, ecstasy. They use that in what is it called? Therapy, like, you know, psychiatrists. So you can open up more and talk, you know what I'm saying, and be more talkative. But they also use LSD and shit like that, or really more so LSD in like MK Ultra and shit like that, so they can alter your mind. So they released it out on the public because let me just say this too. The MK Ultra doesn't just stop in the labs, my nigga. They take this shit and try it on living subjects or the population as well. It don't just stop in labs. It comes to us in a theater near you or in a city near you type shit. It's literally coming to you, my nigga. They gonna try that shit for real. Like, let's go to the COVID. I don't know if I can say it, but nigga, the shot, my nigga. Let's go back to COVID, bro. That shit was a test. It was a test. And a lot of people failed that test. I didn't know they was even handing out, bro, they was letting inmates get conjugal visits. They can do whatever they want. Have sex, well, not whatever, but like they could, get visits with a female, whoever their partner is, and they can, get busy in that motherfucker. They was giving free food. They was giving prostitutes. They was even giving prostitutes. You get this shot, and we'll let you go have your time with a prostitute. Bro, they was giving everything. They was giving free weed, free joint, free whatever blunts for. If you get and a lot of people failed and ended up getting it for work and shit like that. Now I know you got to take care of your kids and all this other shit. Okay, I understand, but bro, at some point you can't use that as a crutch because you even putting you using your kids as a test subject when they first come out, my nigga. Do you really think they need all them shots? Do you really think they need to take your baby away from you to go to a whole nother room and have him under a fucking machine, a cold machine? And just have him there for a little bit? No, they don't have to do that. You can have a home birth right now and they will let you keep your baby. You're going to be naked, because the skin-to-skin contact, that's important. And when they, first born type shit. So, like they literally, everything that the doctors do is for a reason. Everything in this world that's done is for a reason. Whether it's from the medications that they give you, because that shit ain't good. Whether it's from the doctors, because when they first born, they come out looking at a person they don't know, and they upside down in a room with these artificial lights and looks like a laboratory type shit. When a person waking up out of a coma in the movie, and then they open their eyes and see they in a room and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. You feel like everything that happens in our life before we even born is for a reason. We get social security numbers. We gotta put ourselves. We become a number, my nigga. When we born, we become a number, like my nigga. Like we being studied on, my nigga. We literally being studied on. I don't think y'all understand how deep this shit get, bro. But like this Neuralink shit is even taking it farther. That's access to your thoughts. Like there's nothing that's gonna be private anymore. Let's look at this.
इस वीडियो में कैसे एक हाथ अलग होकर तड़प सा रहा है। मतलब आज के टाइम में आपका हाथ नहीं है तब भी कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं, बिकॉज ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी आ रही है जो सीधा आपके ब्रेन से ऑपरेट होता है। अब जैसे इस बायोनिक आर्म को देख लो, जो अलग होने पर भी ब्रेन को प्रोसेस कर पा रहा है। तो दरअसल जिन लोगों के पास हाथ नहीं होता या किसी सिचुएशन से कट जाता है, उसके लिए ओपन बायोनिक ने एक ऐसा हैंड बनाया है जो एआई के सपोर्ट से ब्रेन के सिग्नल को समझता है एंड उस पर काम करता है। मतलब आने वाले टाइम में पता नहीं क्या क्या होगा। खैर आप लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर देना।
Now, I don't know what that was talking about, but I just know they was controlling they limbs with their brain pretty much or some shit. Do you know how scary that really is, bro? Like I don't think enough people is talking about this. Let's watch this one.
What happens if my dad starts Tai Chi tomorrow?
How old is your father? This morning, Elon Musk announcing that for the first time.
And I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting tired of seeing this fake ass AI video shit everywhere, bro. I can tell when it's real and when it's not, but I'm getting tired of seeing this shit everywhere. Like, bro, what? Bro, I'm tired of seeing this shit. I don't know if y'all is, but I'm definitely tired of seeing this shit. What is this video? Okay, I might watch that one next. I might.
Company Neuralink has implanted a brain chip in a human. Musk saying the person is recovering well. Initial results show promising neuron spike detection. Neuralink's goal is to help paralysis patients communicate by connecting their brain to a computer.
The device is designed to
And I just want to say, when they first, interpret
your neural activity so you can operate a computer or a smartphone by simply thinking.
People paralyzed from stroke, from traumatic brain injury, or a spinal cord injury could see the benefits.
This would be a major game changer if it were.
Do you see how they were scanning that brain? Now, I just want to put this in there because I put this in some of my other videos as well. The video, the audio quality and shit like that ain't that good. The video probably gonna be super high, and then my voice volume is gonna be probably low. Bear with it, But do you see how they were scanning that brain? So when you think about it, conscious, and then science, conscious, like you're conscious, your thinking, your spirit, you feel me? Conscious is spelled like science, science, right? So science is like the study of human body and shit like that. It's the study of human anatomy type shit. They lump in all this other shit with science, but it's not really science. Science and conscious is spelled pretty much the same because it is the same. It's work study on a human, more so your brain and how the brain works, more so. And it's literally, I said con because con, you got to understand words too. They got con as in like con artist, con, even convict, a person who's like, it's fake. You feel me? It's not real. Con, you're being played, right? So conscious. They spelled it con science. Now, I was saying they spelled it like that because it was, I forgot how I was wording it, but pretty much conscious and science is one and the same. It's the study. That's why there's a lot of people there. That's why mostly scientists study the human body and brain type shit. Now, I was trying to find this video. I'm gonna finish this one, but I was trying to find this video on Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm gonna find it. Hold on.
Proven to be safe and effective.
The FDA approved Neuralink for human tests last May after years of testing on animals.
Here's one electrode on one thread that when we stimulate causes a flexion movement of the leg.
The company demonstrated the ability of its implants to stimulate movement.
As you can see, Pager is...
And in that transhumanism video, go please watch that. It was the same shit like this, but they was doing it with a frog in that video. Was it that video? I believe it was that video. They was doing it with a frog, even back then. And they was studying how like the frog sees, right? So it was like this little circle, and they will put like, so a frog only sees a moving object. If it's standing still, it's not gonna like, maybe it sees it, but it don't consider it food. You feel me? But it ain't gonna really react to it if it's standing still or if it's big enough. Now, if it's small enough and it's moving within like, its eye, what its eyes can see, you feel me? It's gonna react because it's gonna think it's food. But then they put like a long block, a long like rectangular looking thing within the circle, and it was going without past the circle's circumference, right? And so they would move it around, but and they had like this static shock thing on his brain and everything to show when it would was looking at it, it would receive the brain signals. But so when they would move it around within that circle, it didn't pick it up. Like his brain wasn't picking it because it was too big. So I guess it either didn't care about it because it didn't think it was food, or I don't know, but it just didn't care about it. But if it's just standing still and it's a little circle within that, or is in it like that was just using that little circle, but within its eyes range, if it's standing, if it's moving and it's small enough to where it thinks it's food, then his brain is going to pick up those signals and start firing like, okay, maybe this food, I might need it. You know what I'm saying? So everything has a conscious, but it's conscious in its own way. So if you thinking do frogs think, or if you think do animals thinking shit like that, or what is my dog? It's thinking something, but it's not really thinking how we think, but it's thinking within its nature of thinking. So like a dog can dream. A lot of people have dogs and know that they'll bark in their sleep, like they'll, you know what I'm saying? They'll bark in their sleep type shit, like they dreaming about chasing some shit. A squirrel or something, or dreaming about just playing or some shit. Who knows? But they do have their own conscious in their own nature of way and being. Okay? So that's and that was in 1960 something, I believe. That video was made. And even computers then was making like script play. You know them old cowboy movies our great grandmas and grandmas and them used to watch? It'd be the same, like it'd be like the Indian cowboy or the white man cowboy. But it was always in this desert looking thing that riding on horses, and the movie, the music was this old dramatic, all sounding music, and you know, roll up on a horse type. And they was go in the salon. Listen, you know what I'm talking about, right? And it was so. They was even making plays like that, and I don't think I didn't react to the whole video. I couldn't find the whole video, but it made plays. The play that it was doing, it even scripted it and made a play about the Abraham Lincoln I think it was the Abraham Lincoln assassination, bro. Like literally. So that was programming it and learning it by playing chess with it and shit like that. So, bro, that was back then. I want to find that whole video. I'm going to see if I can find that whole video on this one. I forgot what I even put in, but let's finish this.
Amazingly good at mind pong.
Allowing a monkey to play a video game.
And what better reward for a monkey than a banana?
Musk says the first human users will be people who've lost the use of their limbs. But speaking about the long term, he said, imagine if Stephen Hawking could communicate faster than a speed typist or auctioneer.
And speaking of Steve Hawkins, he uses his wheelchair to talk and shit like that. So they been had this type of shit. They could have you feel me? They just when they release the shit to us when it's old. When they get done playing with it, or whenever they come up with some better shit. I'm pretty sure they're years ahead of us. But the shit that we get is old compared to what they got. You feel me? They bringing us now electronic guns and shit like that. It's finna be on some Halo shit. I'm pretty sure they got some type of shit like that. They already got a weapon where it can use sound that's used for crowds, and it emits a loud frequency or something like that. And it like hurts your mind, it hurts your brain, and it's used to scatter out crowds, my nigga. So they already have this type of shit.
That is the goal.
I really do think that in my lifetime as a physician, I'll be able to use this type of technology to help my patients, and I cannot wait for that day to come.
Neuralink's engineers aren't the only ones turning science fiction into reality. Researchers elsewhere helped this man, paralyzed in an accident, walk again thanks to implants in his brain and spine. And in August, this woman who had lost her voice to paralysis was able to have a conversation with her husband again thanks to a mind-controlled avatar.
Do not make me laugh.
Experts warn much more testing and research is needed before any kind of widespread use of these devices.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get
I want to see if I can find. I might go to my video. Now I do too much pausing in that motherfucker. But let me see if I can find it real quick, cause I forgot what I even typed in to find it. 1960. Computer. Right. Let me see if that'll bring it up. Okay. I think, nah, this ain't it, but that is on his channel though. David Hoffman, or Dave, something like that. It's on his channel for sure. Let me see. First computer to scene, computer market. Here it is. Okay. Okay, early AI computer. I was gonna put script. I was gonna put that in there, but I wasn't sure. Let me see. Hopefully from there it'll bring it up. Let me see.
Of the same kinds of rules.
Well, actually, let me see what this was. The computer history archive. Let's see what this is real quick.
This is my favorite dentist hack to clean my retainer. If you wear a retainer every night like I do, you know how hard it is.
In thousands of offices across the country. In fact,
we're gonna go to this.
Of the same kinds of rules.
The thinking machine. Okay. And then from there, I hope it bring up the whole thing, because bro, I promise you, I think that's the one I reacted to, but
tomorrow, a preview of the future as it begins to take shape in the laboratories of the world. Produced by the CBS television network.
Let me see if I can pause it. Okay, cool. Look, robotic flies, insects, they been had this shit. They been supposedly y'all been I know y'all probably heard about this thing that pigeons ain't real or some shit like that. Not pigeons, but I think it is pigeons or some shit like that. I forgot what it was, but it was pigeons or some shit like that. But bro, they been had all this shit. But damn, that ain't the whole. I don't think this the whole one, because it didn't do the whole.
Commemorating the centennial celebration of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
A large general purpose.
Yeah, I don't think this the whole one, because it didn't react to it didn't react. It didn't show the part where it did the Abraham Lincoln part play or something like that. But look, they playing chess with this mug and everything. Just go check out that video and you'll see. Okay, but look, this is the part on the frog though.
The frog only sees things that move. His eyes don't see them.
It's programming.
But what it does show is that in the frog, at least, the frog's eye reports only very specific information to the brain.
You mean that the optic nerve of the frog doesn't report everything it sees?
No, it reports only very specific things, things which seem to be very important to the survival of the frog. Let's take a look at the next film.
And look how many views that got. How did I get this? I forgot how that was, how it even popped up. but I'm glad it did. Because, listen, I get good recommendations on videos all the time. And I watch them, and then forget I watch them sometimes. And then a person, because I'll be thinking about every video I watch about some information containing some shit like this. I look at how it can be used and applied, or how it is used and applied in real life. So sometimes I watch videos and then forget, and then somebody end up talking about that subject. I see like some YouTuber, and I'll be like, boom. And it pretty much everything always make a full circle around. Whether I've seen a video about it and then somebody reacted to it, or I watched a video about it and then somebody reacted to it, or I searched up something and then a video come up on that subject. Now I know it's because the phone tracks everywhere you go and shit like that, woo woo blah blah, and it's listening to you. But it's crazy how everything make a full circle, and your phone can even now read your thoughts. That's why it's flashing every 5 seconds. The front camera light thing, you can use like another camera or something to see it or something like that. But that's why that mug is always flashing, because it's hitting that frontal lobe and it's reading your shit. It's reading your mind, bro. So let's.
Well, now the frog doesn't pay any attention to those dead flies. Isn't he hungry?
Sure, but his eyes don't see them. He's hungry, all right. Watch.
Well, if he didn't eat any of the dead flies, why did he eat the fly on the string?
Well, you know, that's what Professor Letvin's trying to find out. It seems that the frog only sees things that move. Here, Letvin's looking through the microscope into the frog's brain, preparing to put a tiny electrode into one of the fibers in the frog's optic nerve.
Now, what does that sound like? Neuralink. They've been doing this shit. Do you realize they've been messing with DNA and shit like that since back in ancient Egypt? That's why they had that DNA strand on the hieroglyphs. They've been messing in DNA, swapping and genetically modifying shit. Why are you thinking the Greek or I forgot what it's called, Greek mythology? They have minotaurs, centaurs, and all that other shit. Mixed hybrid animals, because that shit was real. It's not that wasn't for play. That shit was real. Dog men on the hieroglyphs and shit like that, dog-headed men, that shit is real. I've talked about this in plenty of my other videos, but I'll break it down just a little bit in this one. So the wild men, there's a bunch of different, listen, I put the videos up on the wild men. I even put all the information they need to know. I put the line, like the like everything that's a wild man. Santa Claus is one. I forgot what else, but yes, because they called him Old Nick or Old Saint Nick. Saint Nick is the devil. Listen, just go watch my videos on them. Just go back and watch my videos, period. Because I'll put the audio ain't that good. I'm sorry for that, but you feel me? Everything gets better. Even my music, the audio wasn't that good, but it got better. So, yeah, man. But I did all that shit myself too, even the music. But listen, it's gonna get better, and this one probably gonna be way better because I've been trying. But yeah, bro, they've been doing this shit. They said they put a small optic fiber in the frog brain. That's Neuralink. That's what the chip is, a bunch of small optic fibers on the chip, and it goes inside your plant. They plant it in your mind.
You mean when the fiber sees something, it'll send a signal through the electrode that we can see?
Yes, and you'll hear it, too. Now Professor Letvin is putting a target, that semicircular hemisphere, in front of the frog's eye. And then, using a magnet on the back of the target, he can move a small metal disc around the target until he finds the exact point at which the particular fiber is looking. There, he's found it. See, it sends an electrical signal through the electrode.
Well, what's the professor doing now?
Well, he's trying to find out just what kind of things make this particular fiber react.
It looks to me as though this fiber reacts every time something moves.
It does.
Well, that could explain why the frog didn't eat the dead flies. They didn't move, so he couldn't see them.
Well, that's Professor Letvin's suggestion anyway. He said to himself, suppose the fibers in a frog's eye look only for specific kinds of things in the world around them. Now, as we've seen...
So specific things, it looks for specific things in the world around them. So pretty much they have their own conscious, just in their own way, their own nature of having it. Listen, everything does what it's supposed to do pretty much according to nature. Within nature, everything pretty much does what it's supposed to do. Now, there is a few exceptions where there is, just like ancient or just like wild. Well, speaking of the wild man thing, going back to that. But I didn't finish breaking it down. But Saint Nick, the devil, yeah, that's part of it. So the wild man, there's the dog man / werewolf / Bigfoot looking thing. Then that's the dog man ancient world, okay? Then there's the vampire reptilian / dragon bloodline. And when they say reptilians run the world, yes, that's the bloodline now. This is the New World Order. The reptilians is running it, okay? So I'll break it out. That's all I'm going to say. But go watch my other videos. I'll break it down even more in those. But, okay, so, yeah. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, so, everything. Now, there is a few exceptions, just like the wild man, when if you don't know, there's two gods inside of the Bible. There's one God, the real true creator. He said, be fruitful and multiply. That's all we're supposed to do. And that's all we're supposed to be doing. Not working, not doing. If we still have fruit, we supposed to be chilling in our house, whatever we have made for ourselves, and enjoy the fruits of our labor, meaning whatever we have worked for our own self, meaning our own farm and shit like that, okay? But there's two gods in the Bible. The other one, we're supposed to be eating pretty much trees and shit like that, fruit, right? Okay, then the other one is the one that made the meat eaters, the vampires, okay? That's the other God in the Bible, okay? And he made the like tigers and shit like that. Because everything in nature is supposed to be eating fruits, trees, off the trees, leaves, ground, shit like that. You feel me? Grass, shit like that. Then you got the few exceptions in nature, like the lions, tigers, where they eat meat. Them is the hybrid animals, okay? That's not supposed to really be it, because everything else is, now we're not going to go in all that, but back to what I was saying with this. So everything pretty much goes according to nature with nature, or everything in nature goes according to what it's supposed to do, besides humans. We are the only things that has been taken over because of some other greedy human, some other greedy bastards, okay? They listen, that it took over everything. So that shows you, though, everything has a conscience in nature.
One kind of fiber.
Even plants. There's things now where they have made it to where a plant can play music. I forgot what it's called, but if you clip the things on the tree, you clip the clip on the tree, and then it'll send the electronic signals to this thing or whatever you clip to it, and it'll play it'll play music, mushrooms, all that shit. Anything that grows from out of the ground that the true creator made.
Apparently only reports movement. And here, Professor Letvin is looking for a different kind. You see, this fiber reports to the brain when anything small enough to eat moves into view, and it keeps reporting as long as the object remains there.
Well, why did it stop reporting when the light went out and then fail to report when it came back on?
Well, think of the light going off as a shadow passing overhead, an owl, say. In And apparently in a dangerous situation, the frog's eye only reports the danger, not food. Watch now as a long bar has passed through the field of vision. The bar is too straight and too big to be a bug, so you see there is no reaction. And Professor Letvin's work suggests that the fibers from the frog's eye only report specific things to the brain, things related to the frog's survival. One group of fibers looks only for sharp edges. Another group, this one, seems to be a bug detector.
Well, now, I was always under the impression that the eye reported all light patterns.
And so are we all. I ought to add, though, that Professor Letvin's theories are not yet accepted by all people in the scientific community, or at least insofar as the implications about human vision are concerned.
Well, if Professor Letvin's theories are correct, we would have some explanation for instinct, wouldn't we?
Well, the existence of built-in coding or instinct was never really in doubt, although this is a very interesting demonstration of it. It's a demonstration, at least, of one kind of instinct, because it's obvious that the frog didn't learn to recognize flies, but was born with this ability already in its brain.
Well, now, if I may say so, people aren't frogs, are they?
Well, no one really suggests.
So what he's saying pretty much is we already born with a certain set of codes, of a certain set of programming to live for what we are supposed to see in this world. So even though I've seen videos, because I've searched, I know there's other people, but I searched videos on what is it like to see through like a frog's lens or something like that. And they got some videos showing it, but it don't really, or a fly lens eye, because they got multiple eye, like I forgot what it's called, but you look through it and then it sees, I forgot what them is called, but yeah, so you can see through it, but it still ain't gonna be the way that they see it, because even though the eyes don't really see. It's the brain that really sees the information. The eyes just pick up the way the light hit an object or whatever type shit, and then the brain picks up the image. So now it's something where they're saying, when we see the way the light hit in our eyes, supposedly it hits in our eyes and the image flips upside down, but then our brain processes it and then send it back to the way it's supposed to be. So now if you ask that, now what that had me thinking was, when I read that or seen that, was is this really the upside down, like the Stranger Things? Are we in the upside down? Because if we seeing the shit upside down when they hit our light, but then our brain processes and flips it back upright or back down up, you feel me? Is that like the Stranger Thing? Are we really in the upside down right now type shit? So look, this the end of it, but I just wanted to make that video on Neuralink, because I don't think enough people is talking about that shit and how dangerous it really can be when they want to use it for something else. You know what I'm saying? If they really want to, I'm pretty sure they can hack that shit. They've been had this shit. I just showed you a video from the 1960s of them doing this shit. They've been doing this shit. German, the hit Nazis. They brought, do you realize, I forgot what it was called, but they brought in, I don't know if it was an operation or not, if it was called Operation something, because they got a whole lot of operations or whatever. But I don't know if it was an operation or not, but they literally brought in some German Nazi scientists to America to help with science and shit like that, and MK Ultra shit, experiments and shit like that. And that was around the time when NASA was linking up with Walt Disney and Disney. That was with the film production and all that shit. That means the CIA is in with it too. That's why they got a whole lot of CIA movies, because they actually train with real CIA people in their movies and use real CIA protocols sometimes. So yeah, man, I just wanted to put that out there. And so yeah, man, go check out my other videos, because I break down the wild man, Shout out Pushy Push too, because that's where I really found it from, and he breaks down the Bible, uses the scriptures and everything. Now, fair warning, if you go to his channel and you believe in Christianity and religion, period, it's going to change your mind. Or even if it don't, it may give you a trigger warning. You feel me? So I just want to put that out there. But yeah, go check out my other videos, man. I talk a little bit about that too, trigger warning. But yeah, that's it, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one.